Today I'm going to show you how to do these nails, this little pattern. It's kind of a fall design, but you can also make it look good for any season, any occasion, just changing up the colors. But I'm going to show you this. For my base, I'm going to use Nearly Nude by the Lac-it brand and do 2 coats of this. This color is meant to be translucent, so if we just do 1 coat, you'll be able to see the lines and the streaks of where the brush has been. So doing 2 coats is really good. I do like to wait for this to self-level a little bit just before putting it in the lamp so that it has a chance to even out with all of those brush strokes. While that's curing, I will introduce you to the other colors I'm going to use. And this one, and possibly this one. So I'm going to use a lot of different colors, but I'm not quite sure exactly how much I'm going to use of each color. So I'll just introduce them to you now so I don't have to really talk about which color I'm using as we're going. So this is from Modelones. This is called 1968. It's kind of a burgundy red. This is also from Modelones, the color called War. I've used this in past videos as well. This is Olive Branch from the Lac-it brand. This is Light Elegance Buttercream in the color Rosey Posey. And then this is the Clear Jelly Stamper stamping polish. It's the color 60 or 90. I'm not quite sure about that one. Whoa. That has a very potent smell to it. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do these, but I'm gonna add one more color to it. I'm gonna add this Clear Jelly Stamper color to it using a stamping plate, and I'm gonna do that now. So I need to take off the sticky layer. The reason why I'm taking off the sticky layer is because we are going to be working with air dry polish, and air dry polish works best on a smooth surface, and this is pretty smooth. It's not shiny, but it's pretty smooth. It will work. Okay, and here is the stamping plate that I'm using. This is stamping plate 78. It's basically a lot of textures. You can do like straw basket here, or marble, or wood, or paper, brick, jeans. Let's see, I'm gonna use this design here out of the 2 marble designs. And of course you can layer them on top of each other for a cool effect, but I just want some of these cool swirls for this design, so it won't look marbly, but that's okay. This is my only stamping plate, and I've only had it for 2 months or so I've only had a little bit of practice, but I love it. And then my Clear Jelly Stamper. Looks a little bit stringy now, but we will fix it before we go on. In the background here, I've got a layer of that tan that's kind of blurry. So we're gonna do that layer first. We're gonna work on this nail while that one dries. I'm gonna go over them with Simply Connect from the Vogue brand. The reason why I'm using this gel is because I want a blooming texture, and this gel is a great formula for that. And again, this stamping polish, even though it's air dry polish, has had plenty of time to dry. It's a really thin layer, so I'm not worried about it coming off. Okay, so I've mixed this tan with a little bit of Connect, and I'm gonna go just here and kind of just let that bloom, let that chill, and that will just help create some dimension in the background. It doesn't have to be super perfect, or it doesn't have to be placed in a specific way, because we're going to do designs on top of it. So I'm going to let that bloom for a little bit before I cure it, just to let it really take full effect. I'm going to do the same thing to this nail. Okay, and this one has had time to bloom, so it's diffused a little bit over the rest of the nail, so I'm going to cure this one. Okay, I like where this one is at, so I'm going to cure it. And we're going to work on one design at a time, so I'm going to put that one aside so I can focus on this one. I'm going to do another layer of Connect. Okay, and then I'm going to, that dark red, I'm just going to kind of start putting these all over the nail, kind of organized, but also not too much. So now I'm taking another brush, and I've mixed that Rosy Posey color, that mauve color, with some Connect so that it will spread out a little bit better. And I like these purple ones kind of smaller, so I'm making the dots smaller. And then I'm taking another clean brush, going into that green color. These are going to be leaves, so I'm making them a little bit longer rather than short and round, and just trying to place them in places that I think will be aesthetically pleasing. Okay, now I'm noticing that the gel is starting to run off to the side, so I'm going to hold it upside down a little bit to bring it all back to the center. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit of that red back in here just to bring it back a little bit. It's been sitting for a while. Okay, I'm going to put that in to the lamp. So again, I'm going to go in with a second layer of Connect. I'm going to think about where I want these leaves. These are going to be maple leaves. So I think I want kind of a main leaf here. And I'm not really caring about the shape, but I want it to be pretty similar to what a maple leaf would be shaped like. Then I'm going to take another brush, dip into the green, and I'm just going to kind of frame that a little bit with some green strokes. We'll turn those into leaves as well. I take a really tiny brush and black. And this is what we're going to do the outline of our leaves with. I'm going to put plenty on there just so I make sure I have enough. First, before I go in, I want to clean off the sticky layer. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of outlining the base of these and letting this part be open. So it gives the illusion that this is the top of the petal, and it kind of lets your mind wander. And then same here. And then with these, I went a little more detailed just so you would know exactly what it was. But yeah, so we're gonna start here at the base where I want the stem to connect to the petals, and then we'll just kind of go where I feel like it will look the best based off of how the shapes turned out with the color, if that makes sense. I can already figure out what I want to do with these. So I'm gonna start where there's like a collection of black on my brush. I'm gonna place that kind of at the bottom and just kind of pull out. And then pull down from that to create the stem. So then I'm going to move on to these green leaves. And again, I'm not letting these lines connect too much. I want it to be pretty abstract. like where that is, so I'm gonna flash cure it really quickly for about 10 seconds. Just so that if I mess up on the next part, I can wipe it off and start over, and I don't have to redo any of those flowers that I just did. These ones got a little out of hand because they had a lot of time to bloom. So I'm gonna start, I really like what this one's doing here, so I'm gonna exaggerate that a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of make it my own. I really like the way that this blooms up here, so I'm gonna put the stem down here so that I can kind of accentuate the blooming. There we have it. Okay, I'm gonna cure those. So for these, I'm gonna start with the maple leaves because I can kind of already see their shape from where they're coming from. So this is what we're gonna go off of. This leaf right here I based it off of a picture I found on Google. And so we're gonna kind of base the shape and the outline of the leaf off of this and off of just what I can remember from memory because I'm filming with my phone right now, so I can't pull up a picture. I'm gonna start with the outline first, and then we'll do the stem, and then we'll do the center. So I can already see this is kind of where it's coming from. And I'm also just kind of letting the gel go where it wants to go, because as long as I get the basic shape of it, it doesn't matter if it's perfect. But because it's a pretty iconic shape, I do wanna make sure I get some of the features pretty accurate. Okay, so now that I have the outline, I'm gonna get kind of a larger blob on the end of my brush, place it there, and then pull it in, just like that. And then I'm gonna connect these. And then, if you look at the veins on a maple leaf, the stem connects kind of up here, rather than at the very bottom of the leaf. So that's where our veins connect. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna flash cure that, and then we're gonna move on to this one down here. Same thing, we're gonna do the outline first, and then the stem and everything else. And this one's kind of falling off the nail a little bit, so we're just gonna improvise right there. And then the stem doesn't really exist on this one, so we're gonna move on to the veins. Okay, now we're going to move on to these green leaves here. And this is kind of where my imagination just kind of takes over, and I just go with whatever shape is given me. So I can't tell you exactly what leaf this is or what tree it's from, but that's okay. It's not a test. The point is that it looks beautiful. I love these types of designs because the point is that it's not perfect. And so I can just kind of have fun and not stress too much about it looking exactly how it does in the picture or whatever. So now that that's done and this is all cured and looking beautiful, now we are going to add a shiny top coat. VYEN Elegant Glass Nails High Shine Gel Top. I'm going to be a little generous with this layer so that it will help to level out all the lumps and bumps from the blooming gel and the fine line art that we just did. Okay, I'm gonna give that a cure, and this is done curing, so I'm gonna add a top coat to this guy as well. This is not quite as smooth as I want it to be, so I'm gonna go in with a second coat of gel. wipe the sticky layer off. I'm gonna take a nail file and just lightly go over, and this will kind of even out that top coat, that 2 layers of top coat that we've put in there, without going down to the design layers. It also shows you how many lumps and bumps you really have. Sometimes not fun. And you've got to be careful because you don't want to go into your design layers at all. I think that's about as good as we're going to get that one. So I'm going to do the same on this one. So I'm just going to lightly go over this with some acetone just to kind of smooth that out. Then I'm going to go over with my final layer of top coat. Inhibition layer to reveal a beautiful fall design. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Like this video and come back for more.